Guys, in today's video, we're going to be making a 1959 bumper for the Ecto-1. I'm going to be refurbishing the 1959 stuff, putting all new lenses in it, and then building a step bumper for the middle. And I'm going to show you how to do it. Let's get into it. Okay, so today we're going to be remaking and reassembling the 1959 bumper. So all this hardware needed to come out. Thankfully, Caddy Daddy sells it. So got all the lenses ready to go in. But the hardware they did not provide, and there's these standoffs that snapped off when I was doing the disassembly. So I'll be using these just straight from Home Depot, seamless steel standoffs. Try saying that 10 times real fast. And then 1/4-20 hardware that goes the full way through and attaches to the front of this right here. These are threaded, and then that's how it all holds together. So first I got to drill these out a little bit. So it looks like all the hardware I got, the hardware that puts this in, this is too long, and the hardware that puts these in is too short. So I gotta make another trip. I'm just gonna go ahead and start making measurements for the step over here while I'm here. So that's going to be the cut line. Just go right to that corner, straight across to that corner, down. And here's the side template. And I'm going to cut some steel just like that. And it's also somehow going to go like that. I just don't know how yet, because I don't have that dimension. Maybe I'll just wing it. Okay, it's day 2. I picked up some new hardware. They got longer 1/4-20s or 1/4-28, I don't remember what thread they are. Got some smaller M6 washers that'll hold the standoffs a little bit better. And then I got shorter screws for those. So those should help to get those thrown in, and then do a little bit of measurement checking here. And then once I've verified the measurements are what I want, I'll get to cutting. Now they're 1/4 inch too long. Yeah, I checked my measurements. Everything is good side to side, but you'll just see that it's kind of like further on one side than the other. But the measurements do still work side to side. I just wanted to make sure that the width stayed uniform the whole way down, and it does. I also made sure that it's the same to that end, that it is to that end, and it is. But like I said, you will see it's further over by maybe 1/4 inch on one side than the other, which could just be a stamping thing from the factory. I'm really not sure. But I'm not that pressed about it, because no one will notice that later. As long as it's uniform on the side that is remaining, that's good. Okay, so it appears that before I take the bottom off, I need to weld the top up. There was a hairline fracture that has become a complete fracture, and I was thinking I'd be able just to weld that up later, but I can't. So while it's still square, I'm gonna have to weld that in. Darn it. Okay, so now I'm gonna use this cardboard and I'm gonna cut the template out of what's gonna go in there. And once I verify that fit, I think we're gonna use a real thin sheet of sheet metal to try it out. And then after that, we'll go with the thick stuff. I still need to, I think next step is I'm going to cut most of this off. I'm only going to leave like maybe a 1/4 inch, like just a little sliver along the bottom. Because I need to bring it down. It needs to be just over 9 inches deep. Take that out. We're going to have a piece like this. I haven't figured out the shape of this yet. I think that's next. I'll figure out that shape. It's kind of like a little whoop. I'll just kind of make a shape that I think looks right, and then I'll mirror it on the other side. Then we're good to shape out some steel. So it's really far out, and I have the measurement for that one too, for how far out it goes. I think it's a little low. I think it's a little too low. It matches, it should. Honestly, it's even shallower than it looked like on the measurement I got. Here, I'll pull it up. So take a look at this. So we're just under 9 inches there, say 8 3/4. And from mine, 8 1/2, so not bad. I'll take that. I actually don't want it to be fully all the way deep. I don't like the way it looks. 14 1/4. At least it will be when it's welded. So that's good. And deep. Obviously that will, it's bent in the place it should be. I think it's supposed to go down 1 inch, so I'll trim it in to where it's only 1 inch deep. But I think that's what we're gonna be looking at. So I'll go ahead and make a little metal one and then try that out. Alright, it kind of sort of fits. A little wide, I might need to trim a little bit, but really what I want to do is I want to throw those bumper ends on here, get it sticking straight up, standing up flat, and then I'll be able to get a perfect 90 degree because I can't really get this angle right, and I need to get that figured out. I did go in there and I trimmed off the little screw holes for the license plate, just took them off on the bottom so it could actually get more angle change, but I'll go ahead and install the sides now. Well, I don't want to make any mistakes and cut something I shouldn't or whatever. When I do it like that, I get it up, it's really far forward, and so that might be the way it needs to be. I just need to cross-reference with some of the other Ecto guys, and then I will come back and finish that up. But it is certainly looking like something, I guess. Okay, we're back to the bumper. I think it's day 3 now. I don't remember, I've lost track. I've got it laid back out where I need it. Here is my little template. I've got a little bit of grinding to do on the bottom corners because it doesn't want to sit in and go all the way down. Kind of stops. So I'm going to grind that out a little bit more just to get it to sit right. And then what I'm going to do, I'm either going to unfold this or I'm just going to use that. And I'm going to go ahead and make a template. I like the shape of this one. What I learned is that I don't have a box brake, so I can't do the sides in one go. The sides are gonna have to be made separately, but that's okay. I'm not that worried about it. I also learned that I really don't like having a jagged edge on the bottom that I need to grind smooth. So I'm gonna bend it again on the bottom just a little bit more. Therefore, I'm just gonna make it like maybe a 1/2 inch longer and then just have one bend right at the end. I hope I'll be able to do that right. So I think it'll look really good. I also learned when I was putting it in, this surface is further back than this one. You can see I've got it basically laying straight up in the air, and you can see that this one is further back. I also got to fix that a little bit. I don't want to cut it all the way down because then I'm going to lose structure. I really don't want that. But when I have it laying in there, hold on. See, it kind of, in order to make it touch the back, I kind of need to make it all the way back up here, but I know I'm not supposed to do that. I know it's kind of supposed to be up there a bit, which means there's a little corner. So on the side, I'm going to add a little bit, maybe just 1 inch back, and that'll help me get it all the way back. Should make it look pretty good. I think maybe I'll bring this down a little bit, a 1/2 inch. Yeah, just a little bit of increasing on the side, make up for it. But those will go directly onto the sides, and this will go directly onto the back. Okay, so what I did, I went ahead and drew this up, and I'd forgotten, I did it like this, but I ended up having to do it like this. I forgot that I need to make that little triangle on the back so it can fit back in here in this little section. Sorry, I'm not good at holding a GoPro and filming. So I need to fill this up, so I ended up bringing it forward, that much, and so that should be exactly what I need. I'll go ahead and cut one of those, make sure it works, and then I'll cut another one, then I'll flatten this out, and then actually start welding. So I did a test fit, and it actually looks like I don't need to make those cuts that I thought I did. Everything just kind of lines up really nice inside. So I'm gonna go ahead and tack those back up, weld them up, and then make another one just like this. Here they are. They actually sit in really nice. I did not intend for them to sit this nicely, but that little shape I did ended up being perfect because at the back I'll be able to tack them in at the top underneath the bumper. On the bottom it rests right there, and I think I might just make a little bit of scrap just to fill that in, but I don't know if I'll even really care once it's out there like that, like once it's assembled. I don't know if I'll even be able to see it really because it'll be so low. Those actually look awesome. And yeah, all this little weld, that's all gonna be hidden back in there, so that's why I didn't grind it all the way smooth. I might fill it in a little bit more actually, just right up there, a little porous. Man, that's looking really good. Okay, so now I need to go ahead and make the flat piece and break it and make all my bends, and once it sits in, I'll be able to tack everything together. So let's go ahead and make that. Okay, you guys are about to see me try to work a metal brake. I think I know how it works. I'm just gonna kind of wing it. Okay, no, I don't know how to use it. I think I'm gonna need you to do a little Googling. Okay, so I ended up cutting a relief on the back, and I'm gonna see if that fixes it. There's that. We've got a little bit more bending to do just on the front. I'll cut those 2 more reliefs there, and that'll bend that down, and then we're good to start tacking. So I grabbed some square tube. It ends up being just about where I did the cut. And so I think that will work. And I think that will give me my bend I need. Looks like I made one mistake. I forgot that I needed to bring this down on the side all the way. I only brought it down a ½ inch. So it kind of looks like that when it's laid together. I can add another piece to the bottom, or I can modify the front, but I think I'll do that at the end. I think I'm going to proceed as is, because I'd kind of rather just add a little rectangle to the side. I really like the way the front looks, and I kind of don't want to change it. So I'll just modify the side to match. I got to go ahead and grind a little bit off of each side now, because it's really tight. So I'll take a little under an 1/8 inch off of each side, and then go ahead and try it out. Okay. Whoa! Okay. I got this laid in place. I got the width actually perfect first try, so everything slides into place really snug and nice. I'll go ahead and just start with one of these, and I'm going to use the right angle thing I just kicked. I want to make sure that that's at a flat 90, and then I'll go ahead and tack it, and then I'll tack the other one, and then I'll tack this in place using those as reference, because I need those. This is actually this is going to be like an inch higher up. You see that? It can't really rest in place because it needs these to guide it. So I'll get those first using this, and then I'll use those to guide this. It's going to be kind of weird, but just let me cook. It's not perfect, but I think it looks really damn good. And from the side, I mean, obviously you can't tell really because it's in the grass, but I think that side profile is exactly on the money. That is looking so nice. I'm gonna go in off camera just because I'm low on battery, and I'm gonna MIG weld from the back. I really don't want any welds visible on this side, so I'm hoping I'll just be able to permeate thoroughly, and I'll be able to grind all these little tacks off because I really don't want anything showing on the outside. Once all that's done, it'll be bare metal and it might surface rust a little bit, but that's okay. I'll let it do that before I end up sending it to someone to do full chrome, and then I'll have it all chromed and it'll be all nice. I don't know if I'll end up putting anything traction on here. All I do know is I'm gonna use some self-tap, no, not self-tap, I'm sorry. I'm going to use some PEM nut inserts that you can crush the same way I did to mount the roof rack supports. So I'll have some crushed nuts on here after it's chromed. I'll drill those. I'll probably drill the holes before, then I'll crush them after it's chromed and it comes back. So then you'll be able to just use standard 1/4-20 or whatever screws on here. That is going to look so nice. And here's what it looks like when you're standing on it. Sweet. Can't really do a stress test, but that is some thick steel. That's the same thick steel that I used to make the little hump on the middle, and I used to make my battery tray. I've been using it for a lot of things and I love it. So I really have I have full confidence in this. It's just thin enough to look nice in factory, but it's thick enough to be really sturdy, and these brakes look so nice. I'm really happy I learned how to work that, kind of. I learned that you can't really use it for thick steel like this unless you cut the relief on the back. Oh man, this is looking so good. Okay, well, I'll just go ahead and end this video here. Well guys,